935 KDAY Morning Show, Cece and Romeo.
Now.
It's very legendariness up in here right now.
Super legendariness.
Come on, man. Candyman, Mellow Man Ace, ODM, y'all all in the building with us. How we make this happen today?
Man. Hey, man.
We got it happen, man.
Let's go.
Shout out to Guap. Shout out to Guap.
Yes.
Guap, you know what I'm saying? His queen, Cece. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Shout out to
that,
Guap.
That connection right there. You know, I work a lot with Guap. He's done like 5 or 6 of my last music videos.
Works with
And
a lot of
so-
artists. Yeah.
Yeah, so we built a connection there. And when I needed to, see you and make an appointment with you, I said, Guap, yo, what's happening? Let's
that's how it
let's have
happened
a
today.
barbecue. You know what I'm saying?
He's the plug right now. Yes.
Hey, since we speaking on Guap, I gotta say he's the go-to guy right now. I've known
videos,
Guap
yes.
when he first jumped off, and man, like he is that dude
Okay.
in the
No, no,
industry
no.
right
all this
now.
equipment, bro, and then I had to wear my shades almost because I saw the ring blinging on your
Oh,
finger.
yeah, he did really good, guys. He did good.
Guap doing it.
Yeah.
Winning.
No, when
And
you
y'all
need-
doing it too, man. I mean,
Yes.
the question is, where do we start? There's so much history in the room, right? So let's start in the present. Let's start about what's really going down with y'all coming up. Let's jump off here. Who wants to talk about this right here? These tickets.
The Crab
I'll
and
talk
Shrimp
about it. I'll
Throwback
talk about it.
Festival. Yes, Mello.
Yeah, my man Johnny, he came to me and during COVID, right? And he said, Mello, I want you to have my restaurant for a night. If you have my restaurant for a night, what would you do with it? I said, I'd throw a concert in this piece, you know?
Wow.
And he said, well, who would you have on the bill? I said, well, it always starts with me, these two right here, 1, 2, 1, 2, no specific order. I hit up Candel. I said, yo, let's do something. And he said, let's do something. I said, let's go. Then we called O, and O was like, I'm free that day. You know what I'm saying? So then we added Candy, hopped on the line and called JJ Fad, like, yo, this is what we're doing. And then we added Mariah Avila, and it's a beautiful thing now, August 28th, 2020, Hacienda Boulevard.
Oh, that's going to be so lit. And as a matter of fact, what's really dope about it is that they gave us tickets. So we will be hooking you guys up because I know KDAY Nation, you guys have a strong fan base here with KDAY. People love you. People still bump you. Listen, there's new artists. And I don't know if they're going to sell out 25 years from now, 30 years from now. But that's a testimony to you. That's a testimony to your music, to your artistry, that people love you. They gravitate to you. How do you embrace that? Like that still must be dope, that feeling, right?
Absolutely. I just like the fact that in the culture, people embrace the artists. It's not just the songs.
Right.
They're invested in us as people because we come, we show them love. They take pictures with everybody, right, Mello?
Yep.
We close the place down taking pictures and showing the love. But also, songs are a time capsule.
Yeah.
So you remember exactly what you were doing when that song came on.
Yes.
Speak on it.
And that was a simpler time, and that was a happy time for people. And, we're going through a lot right now. So if anything, they want to go back to that time right now.
Definitely.
And so we're blessed.
And that is so true because let me tell you, going to ODM on a Sunday afternoon, we used to cruise Whittier Boulevard.
Right.
Back in the day, it was the tapes. We would rewind it and try to set it off and be like, all right, we're good, we have it. All right, let's start cruising, let's play it. That's what it was, It was just so cool. And congratulations, first of all, because the city of Santana, they went ahead and they recognized
major.
you.
Yeah.
There
we go. Well deserved. Well deserved.
Hernandez, man, for that. He put that whole thing together, and my boy Box, who actually I went to school with in middle school in Santana, who works for the city now, and he just connected us, and I was just happy to be a part of that. Plus, starting the Chicano Heritage Month, too, as well.
It kicked off. It kicked off Chicano Heritage Month, but a lot of people reposted you because a lot of Latinos, like, just to be honest with you, Mexican American from LA,
Right.
hearing Lighter Shade of Brown,
Right.
the Spanglish, it was just something so new to us, and we're like, wow, we're included.
Right.
Same thing with Mentirosa. When we heard Mentirosa, I mean, I had a lot of friends in Huntington Park that were playing it. As a matter of fact, my homeboys tricked me, and they're like, we're in the video, so we were bragging. Our homeboys are in the video. They were never in the video, but everybody was clout chasing at that time because that song was popping.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank
we
you,
grew
thank
up
you.
in the era, on the coattail of Mello, first one to ever do it here. Candy
Yes.
and
Let's go.
Fire.
Give them their flowers, yep.
As far as the whole Latino thing, and I'll say that to this day, and I've always said that, my brother knows that, but we just we started a wave, that just kept going and going and growing, and look where it's at today. That's where we look back, we go, man, we did that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now we're getting our fruits. You know what I'm saying? And it's just so dope. And going back, piggyback on what Candyman said, it's just timeless music is what it is.
It definitely
I really don't
is.
like to call it old school.
No, it's not.
It's timeless because when we're gone, it's gonna be bumping, man.
It's still gonna be bumping.
Yep.
Let me
It's
give you a
100%.
fun fact. I could kick myself right now because I came up with this Throwback Thursday.
Uh-huh.
I came up with that in Las Vegas at Caesar's Palace at a club called OPM.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to call us old school. It was too early.
Right.
It was too early. So, I've been doing clubs for a long time. I come up with witty stuff. So I came up with the idea Throwback Thursday. And
Man.
DJ Rectangle, Scribble, all these people will attest to that at Caesar's Palace. It backfired. I can tell you how long ago it was because people showed up with throwback jerseys on. And this was a dress code spot. So that's how long ago I was on that and going to radio stations in Vegas, and everybody just ran with it. And if I would have just copywritten that joint
That
right
part.
there.
That part.
Because everybody
Candy Man.
uses the term Throwback
Still.
Thursday. Yeah, it's crazy.
Still, man.
But I did radio in Vegas for
such is
5
life.
years. OPM was the spot.
Thank
And
you.
so many stories about it.
Yes.
It was the spot in Vegas.
Absolutely.
And and think about clubs. Off air, we were talking about clubs all around LA and just how they have such a special
man.
connection to hip hop.
Man.
I mean, we can go down that road, but I'm gonna skip over that road for real quick because I want to ask y'all, like, getting into the game. It's never been easy for anyone, right?
Right.
But I want to know. We're gonna start with you, ODM. Like, who motivated you to want to get in the rap game, and then when was that moment where you realized, okay, we have arrived?
We have arrived. Well, started in middle school, growing up, NWA, Ice Cube, LL Cool J, West Coast to East Coast. It was just hip-hop for starters.
Yeah.
This whole Latin thing didn't really evolve until later on, until I got my record deal and to realize, hey, there's a huge audience out there that supports just like me.
Yeah.
But the fact when I got that call one day and my manager was like, hey, man, we did it after a year. And, of course, thanks to this man, these guys leading the way.
What'd I do?
It made it just made it easier because record labels were checking now.
Right.
Yeah.
And, I got to give flowers to Frost as well. You know what I'm saying? For being the first quote-unquote Mexican and Chicano rapper, mainstream, whatnot. So when we busted out, it was the group. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mexican American group from the West Coast. So when I got that, it was like, man, let's ride. And it just catapulted from there, man.
Wow.
Absolutely. And we,
What about you, Mellow Man Ace? When was that moment?
Repeat the question. I'm 55.
It's
man.
all good. That moment
you
where
say?
you realize you officially arrived in hip hop,
All right.
because obviously, if you wanted the groundbreakers to get in, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There was a struggle. You wasn't always acceptable.
Right.
When did you know?
We knew one day I'm in Linwood at DJ Julio G's crib. We lived
Julio
in
G,
weights.
what up?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We lifting weights in the back. He working at UPS at this time. I'm working at Dodger Stadium. It's 1988, 89, right? And
That's when they won the World Series. Go ahead.
and then your sister station played the record, and we beat Janet Jackson, New Kids on the Block, and Madonna all in a row on Make It or Break It. We looked at each other on that third day and said, we going on tour, boys. Pack your bag, we going on tour. Yeah. And that's when I knew.
Wow. Okay. All right, Candy Man.
Well, I was going to let him say what tour was it?
That was the Power Tour. Stevie B was headlining. You was on the bill.
Really?
We finally met for the first time, and we ran across country, buck wilding.
When you guys met for the first time, was it just like it clicked?
We were very the same kind of cat. We was fly, was young, light-skinned brothers, with good hair. We was doing it, you know what I mean? But you know what I mean?
Back in the day.
Come on, man. I think we were also very young, full of vigor, full of ourselves at that time, and we knew just how to get it. We knew how to manifest.
Yeah, that tour was very instrumental in what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Because it was mixing freestyle with hip hop.
Very first
then.
time.
First time.
Oh,
So
that's
Stevie
dope.
B, who else? Taylor Dane.
Sanday. Sarah, I believe, might have been on that tour as well. And when you see these concerts now, when you see, the throwback concerts, and you have Lisa, Rob Bass, Stevie B, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That started
Yes.
back then.
And it's
Kid Frost
crazy.
was on there with us too.
Kid
Those
Frost was on
throwback
there.
concerts, they're getting even younger because people like the vibe that they have.
Yes.
Yeah.
You go to the new clubs, the new concerts, and they're like, man, see, we don't like it. Everybody just stands around. They think they're too cool. They're like, this one, everybody's partying. They're having a good time. So the audience is actually getting a little
Well, yeah,
younger.
I think
it's
it's because
crazy.
the parents have taken the time to pass our music down
Yes.
to their seeds, and
Mm-hmm.
the kids are like, my dad was bumping this at the barbecue since I'm 4. You know what I
Right.
mean? And now I'm at the concert. I'm surprised, to see these kids a lot of the time, but at the same time, I'm not surprised because we as black and brown people always do that. Our parents did it with us.
Right.
I mean, and back then it was party music. That's what we did. It was fun. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing. that you could take his music, my music, Mello's music, and bang it anywhere at the park. We were household names.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was safe, it was fun, and you know, if you grew up in the '90s, you know, I mean, even in the '80s, it was just lit. From the Nissan trucks to the cruising.
Yes.
It's crazy.
The lower Nissan trucks.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're making a good comeback right now.
Yeah.
The mini trucks.
So who was your influence? Hip hop?
My influence in hip hop? I mean, my biggest influence.
Yeah.
Man, I would have to say Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five.
Absolutely.
Rakim for me and Big
Absolutely.
Daddy Kane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
See, I just wanted to remember the first part of your question. the
Uh-huh.
influence.
See, I like that. I like that.
I wrote it down.
No, hip hop for me started because I started writing poetry. This is Candyman, by the way.
Yes, sir.
All you sexy ladies out there.
This guy right
I'm
here.
that guy of the group.
Oh boy.
Not the Bobby Brown and the David Ruffin, you know.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Anyway, no, it started with poetry. I fell in love with poetry.
Yeah.
And so in the 3rd grade, I wrote this poem called The Beautiful Black Girl in the 3rd grade. And so my mom always brings this story up, and they thought I plagiarized it. And my mother was like, we don't own any poetry books. I don't know where he got it from. So at that point, they were like, oh, he's gifted.
Yeah.
You know.
He could write, yeah.
And what is he thinking about? The boy's like 8 years old. So that lets you know the content that I was on.
Then.
Super young.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hence, knocking boots.
I was just going to say, man, you took the words out of my mouth. I was just going to say that, bro.
So it was poetry first. So when I love dancing and all that good stuff, I segue to I'm a child before hip hop. You know, so and happy birthday to hip hop. Of course, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
But I'm prior to hip hop as we know it. There was always James Brown, you know, Say It Loud and all of that. There was still that, but it wasn't hip hop. So like Mello said, we go back to the origins. You know, your Grandmaster Flash. You know, even the Sugar Hill Gang. I immediately wrote my version to Rapper's Delight. Like probably everybody in here had their own version.
Right.
How I got popular.
We got a song called Players Delight.
There we go. See?
Dang.
Us and Frost, man.
Really?
Yeah.
So how I knew I was the man was when I remade Lottie Dottie at my high school. And I went to the Hip Hop High, which is Washington High School. Everybody out there, Generals. Yo-Yo went there, Dub C went there, Portrait went there. Everybody was there at the same time.
That's crazy.
That's dope.
And I was holding court. So we had these kids bust into the school, and I did this song called Johnny Johnny and flipped Lottie Dottie. Like immediately when it came out, it was like weeks in the streets bumping, and I rapped the whole thing, switched every line, and everybody was just mesmerized. Whoa! And I had my homeboy beatboxing, and that was it.
When you did that, did you have the name Candyman, or did that come later?
It was right on the verge. It was right on the verge.
What was your
How did you
first
get
rap
that name, Candyman?
Candyman.
Wait, ask him what was his first rap name.
Oh yeah, what was your
I don't
first
know
rap
this.
name?
I
I need to know that.
MC Smooth.
It was something probably sexy. It was something sexy.
Yo, dog.
I've been
Candyman's
Candyman so
for the
long.
ladies,
It was
okay?
something. No, but I was a battlehead, which was funny. I was really a battle rapper, but it was always the ladies was always on my mind. So I'm gonna destroy you, so the ladies would come after. The aftermath is the ladies.
He had a plan. He had a plan.
But yeah, that was it. It was poetry first, and then when poetry met music, hip hop. So Run DMC, they hit the wave in the streets.
Yep.
And it was the music changed, the style of music changed, and Slick Rick and Dougie Fresh, who I love to this day, the style started changing. And so I'm like, oh, we could get fly with this. We can get more descriptive. We could say, let's flip it. So I was on that flipping it to the West Coast style then in high school.
Nice.
And then the rest is history, where we started making, more songs. And gotta give Bill Walker his credit. We had a love-hate relationship back then.
Oh, Uncle Bill.
Yeah, but it was just because of the circumstances surrounding him obtaining the record. But nonetheless,
Bill Walker isn't Thump Records?
Thump Records.
Thump Records, yes.
Thump Records.
And so
yeah,
we
Uncle
put
Bill, yes.
Yes, we all know.
We all know.
So what happened is he put Knockin' Boots on the Lowrider soundtrack Volume 1, the very first one. And that was on Thump Records, but they put my song to Cars and Girls. And going to the video store back then was a big thing.
Yeah.
So that was an introduction to hip hop through that video, and then started going crazy after that.
I
but
love
what
it.
was your first rap name?
I don't.
Mellow Man Ace said, let's go.
Yeah.
You know what? Now it comes to me. JB Star.
JB Star.
Star. Ain't that something?
But how did you get Candyman?
How'd you get JB? Your name ain't JB. Oh, wait,
We
John.
got all these questions for Candyman
Okay.
right now
So
regarding
look,
his
look,
name.
What's
I
the
done turned the
beef?
spot out, but anyway.
Where did the beef
There's a lot of heat on you right now,
Yeah,
Candyman.
yeah. So anyway, because some of this stuff I don't want to answer. So,
Okay, never mind
All right,
then.
forget about it.
I figured Mellow Man Ace because you're just so mellow and smooth.
No, a lot of things was going on. Candyman has a dual meaning.
Oh.
You know, I'm from these streets. You dig?
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. There we go.
But
I was
then
thinking...
I also am a performer. And so I think it was just like I always threw shows after school, and we did like some pop locking and dancing to Mary Jane Girl's Candyman, which is funny because I still do that to this day. When JoJo performs, she'll call me up on stage and it's like flashback.
Oh, that's so
you know
dope.
when you perform something at your school, then they just start calling you that right off the rip. You know, so it was intentional because I was pondering the name Candyman over a lot of reasons, Sammy Davis and some other things performing wise. But by doing that set at school, oh, you're the Candyman guy. And so it was the thing that set it off that it stuck.
Right.
So that's kind of, but then in the streets it was something different.
It was dope.
When, you know.
Unique.
No, I always thought, I always wanted to ask you that. I know it's a little question, but I was like, I always was, curious about that.
When the cops kicked in the door and saw the pager with Candyman on it, it meant something different.
Oh, there we go right there. It definitely has that dual meaning right there.
Double entendre.
Yes. Now, you guys have been in this game for a minute. I know that, there's other artists that you've worked with, but I love giving artists their flowers, especially the pandemic has taught me that, to just appreciate a little bit more. Mm-hmm. What artist has embraced you and supported you the most in the beginning of your career that you want to take a moment and give them their flowers?
That's a dope question.
Go ahead,
that's a Cece.
Yeah. Thank you.
Cece Winfrey up in here.
I keep saying this because my man sitting right next to me. This is like a big brother. He took me under my wing ever since we dropped, and he never showed any not jealous. Well, everything you can think that was negative. Like my man, just like we met us. He was super cool, super mellow. Hey man, I see y'all doing your thing, man. Come with me. Even when we had issues with other artists. You know what I'm saying? Mello was never that dude. He was always welcoming. He took me in. We would go, show me the rope, took me over to Cypresses, and so this is the reason why. This is the only dude that I know that I can still call right now. He'll pick up my call.
Man, that's dope.
Great flowers.
Yeah, great. Yes, there you go.
Don't you cry, Mello. Don't you cry. Don't you do it. Yeah. Don't do it.
For you, Mello?
Well, it's kind of tough because on my block, I'm the guinea pig, right? On my block with Cypress and Funk Dubious, I'm the first one out, so I had no real mentor. I learned everything on the field as we're playing the game. I would have to say after I did get in the game, it would have to be somebody like, you know what? I'm just gonna say Tony G.
Oh yeah, shout out to Tony G.
Legendary right there.
Tony G taught me how to write in bar form. Taught me how to break the song down and create a hook that's catchier than the rest of the song. And he's early on taught me a lot of how to play percussion, which I do on stage now. And to him, I give the credit because Mentirosa, the song, and most of that first album, Escape from Havana, was his idea. It was a very experimental album. We had many different styles on there. We had from the club to the underground Spanish rap to the bilingual stuff on the radio. And we had Afro-Cuban rhythms that we were doing and records like that. Then later on you hear people like these other groups coming out of Cuba, the Orichas and stuff like that, copying and mimicking. It was amazing because we didn't know we were being so groundbreaking. We was putting the record together, and then you have records like Rhyme Fighter make absolutely no sense. And that's where, kind of where Be Real gets his style, his nasal style from. So, I mean, the guy was so instrumental in my upbringing, just on that first album alone, that I got to say Tony G.
That's what's up. Shout out to Tony G, man. He's a real one. Let me just tell you, in the beginning of my radio career, dropped a lot of gems for me, gave me a lot of wisdom. Yeah, and I remember at one point, even when I was kind of contemplating radio, because you already know, ODM, this is it could be a bitch. Sure. And I remember Julio G sat me down, and I told myself, I said, I don't want to talk to nobody but Juli. That's it. Mm-hmm. And he sat me down for 30 minutes and gave me this pep talk and literally kicked my ass back into gear. So shout out to Tony G and Julio G.
Yeah, shout out to Tony G, man. Bumping him at the Hennessy Lounge a couple of times, and just the conversations that we had over there was so in depth. And he,
Tony,
yes, yeah. He's a real one, man.
Tony G had the foresight. He had so much foresight, and I say this because one day I came in the studio, and this particular day his drum machine wasn't in the studio. It was on top of his pool table, and I'm coming in there. He puts a disc in, the floppy disk into the drum machine. He plays this idea with the Carlos Santana thing. He said, I don't know how you're going to do it because up to this point, we've been either rapping in Spanish or English, right? And he says, okay, you did Rhyme Fighter, you got the Monster Bean going, you got this one and that one. This one has to be bilingual. Like, yeah, just like that. I'm like, bilingual? He said, yeah, you need to mix both languages on the same record.
Spanglish.
Yeah.
Spanglish, right? And I said, well, I don't know how that is done because it's never been done. And he said, I don't know how you're going to do it, but don't come back till you do. Wow. That's the kind of foresight. Now, you know, Tony, he operates with his, you know, with his heart, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, just figure it out.
He cares, man. Like, he won't let you leave that booth until he feels.
Yeah, that's perfect. It's right.
To figure it out. And
so I love all these conversations, and I love the fact that we can talk about the past, we can talk about what you guys are doing now, the future. ODM, you have this podcast, and let's talk about it.
Yes.
The Blockout Podcast, and tell us some of your guests.
Yes. So the first season, we just kicked it off a couple weeks ago, and it took me a while once the transition from radio to the digital platform, you know, just doing my homework, my research, and I come to find out, I says, what better way to kick off the first season than with the birth of Lighter Shade of Brown.
Yes.
You know, we've got diehard fans out there that have been following us forever, and they've been constantly asking us, yo, when are you dropping a book? When are you dropping a documentary or movie or some type of, and so I was like, well, we started filming something in 2016 when DWTX was here. And that was the idea, was to do a reality series, right? So we were filming, we had crews going on with us, we did a couple of shows. Long story short, unfortunately, we lost our brother, and we got enough video to do an hour and a half. That's been done. Lighter Shade of Reality, if you look it up on YouTube, it's already there, the trailer, okay? But it's been sitting there. Matter of fact, I'm in cahoots right now. We're trying to get the licensing, all that from the label. You know how that is. They want to charge an arm and a leg. Shit, I'm like, you know, I'm trying to get the masters right now as we speak, because as you know, 20, 30 years go by, we must own our masters.
Right.
Absolutely, yeah.
Another conversation. But all of that, I say that to say this, is going to be discussed, episode per episode. So I got my manager who created Lighter Shade of Brown, Cliff Ritchie. He's on with me. The next week, I got DJ Jammin' James. Shout out to Jammin' James, one of our main producers of Homie, Sunday Afternoon, Latin Active. You know what I'm saying? DJ Fabe Love. A lot of people didn't know that there was a third member of Lighter Shade.
Wait a minute, I didn't know that.
So if you look on our Brown and Proud cover, our very first album, the orange and green one, there's 3 of us. That was DJ Fabe, the taller cat, and he was our DJ / producer. He decided to, stay back. I don't want to give the story, but he's on the first episode, and so I'm giving them a chance to tell their story.
Right.
It helps me out because they're pointing out some stuff that I don't remember, and that's how we go back and forth. To other guests on the first album, that was a big album for us, and we had a lot of players on there that just really didn't get their time to shine or their flowers. So for an example, we got Chulo. Remember Teardrop?
Yes.
Latin Active.
I actually saw Teardrop at the Tyler Mall in Riverside, and I remember people were like, that's Teardrop right there. And I said, what? And she went into DJ's, that clothing store. We chased her in there. Yes. Super throwback. Yes, exactly.
So, yeah. So that's who I got on the platform. We're going to do about maybe 10 to 13 episodes of those. And I think it's a dope way to get a presented audio platform visually too as well for the fans.
I would like to see a documentary, like Cypress Hill came out with a really dope one. Right. I would like to see some type of lengthy documentary on you guys, because I just can only assume as a Chicano in hip hop, you had your obstacles,
right.
And you made that path a little bit easier for our next generation of Chicano rappers that have been coming out. So I would love to see that, because I know there's a lot behind the scenes we don't know that you went through.
Oh man, Cece, I mean, from marching at UCLA, at that time there were no Chicano studies at UCLA or any of the universities, and I remember just tell one story that we would jump in line with our Brown brothers and go right up to the to the main to the steps there and just go fight for Chicano studies. That's all they wanted. So little stories like that, and just trying to expose the fact, or how do I say present Latins doing hip hop in general. People were still like, well, what is this? Radio wasn't really taking it. Like some of them were. We had songs like, for an example, Latin Active, you know what I'm saying? we got not banned, but some stations wouldn't touch it because it had the word Latin in it.
That's crazy. I never knew that.
These
You
are
know
things
what I'm
people definitely didn't know, man. So I'm glad you
Yes.
can put all that on your
bro, like
podcast. That's gonna be dope.
little gems like that. It's like, hey, if you name the album "Let's Jam," then we probably can get on it. But they were afraid to play it.
Wow.
Thank God you stood your ground and said,
Yeah.
"Hell no."
We good, man.
Like, this is who-
Southwest,
yeah,
all
this is
day.
who
I'm
we are.
brown
This
and
is who we
proud.
are.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Mellow Man Ace. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go for it.
No, Mellow Man Ace. Let's talk about. You got something coming up in September, man. Meet, greet, cruise, all that. What's going on with
Yeah,
that?
that's gonna be live, man. My boy Blasto of Blastro Streetwear. I've known the brother for about 15 joints, and he hit me up. He's like, "Mel, man, I need to pick up the traffic at the store, so let's do something." I said, "Let's do it."
Mm-hmm.
Just always trying to help, and if I can lend a name, to somebody that can benefit from it, let's do it. You know what I mean?
Your name carries weight. We know that.
And I've made a living like that.
Yeah.
Just helping other people.
Can I ask you a
Stuff
question?
like
I'm just
that.
going to insert myself. Are you going to do your meet and greet like Chris Brown did his meet and greet? I'm just saying.
You would know what happened there.
I've always done my meet and greets like Chris Brown does his meet and greets.
What happened with Chris Brown?
That's not a new thing for Candyman over here.
What was he charging? Something like $100?
$1,000. But everybody had their own personal picture, right?
Like
it was
personal
money,
picture.
yes.
Well, I mean, on one hand, I get it,
Yeah.
because when you go see your favorite retired athlete, he gonna charge you $30 for the glossy. He
Yeah.
gonna charge you $45 for the autograph, and he's gonna charge you about $100 for a picture with him.
Yeah.
I've always thought that was genius, but I always look at it like, damn, man, didn't you make enough money on your contract to be charging us now? with
Okay.
that?
Yeah.
So that's why I don't do that.
Okay.
I don't do that, and I think it's a testament to just being old school mentality. You know what I mean? And just coming from a good place of hip hop culture is like, that's just tacky. AF. You know what I'm saying?
We talked about it on the radio, and I was for it
Right.
because I was
Word,
like,
right.
I was for it because I was like, hey, I'm for it because there's COVID, there's monkeypox.
Absolutely.
He gotta get paid. He's
Yeah,
getting
no,
next
no,
year
no.
taking a
That's
picture.
You gotta
I-
make up for 2020.
Absolutely.
I get it. I get it. I just,
Yeah, no,
I just
but-
don't have the heart to charge people that I've
But
already
you've
been
always been
paying
of the
to see
community
me
of the people, Mellow.
for
you know?
32 years.
You
It
move
just
different,
makes no sense.
yeah.
You know?
Now, when I
At some
said
point,
that, I wasn't
At some
getting-
point, when do I give back? How about that?
I kind of
Always.
think you've been doing it the whole
Yeah, I
time,
kinda
man.
think
You've
you've
been
been
giving
doing
us
it your
something to
whole
hold on
career,
to,
yeah.
man.
Always.
Have.
32 years of this lifestyle, you know what I mean? Asking you to buy a T-shirt, a concert show ticket, whatever it is, a record, a CD, a hat, the Mellow Man hat, the wine,
Yeah.
the whole thing, right?
But
And
it's a trip
it's like,
because
when
that's.
do I give something back?
But it's part of today's time. Look at Travis Scott. He just went overseas and got a meal just on merch.
Yeah.
It's crazy. That's
And,
why I'm
and,
like,
and you
I
did
get
give
it.
back when we would hear "Welcome to My Groove," which is, by the way, my favorite song, Mentirosa, which I
Nice.
love.
Thank
You
you.
gave back to us in that
Mm-hmm.
culture. You made us proud. You made us excited to hear the music. We were included. You gave back through your
No,
music.
no,
You
no,
have to
no.
understand that.
You got to understand, I was doing that out of selfishness for me. I was making my music for me. Whether you loved it or you hated it or you didn't have an opinion, that's just life. That's
Okay.
what music is, right? Or you could have somebody that in the room that don't like you at all, right? So I was doing that for me. Now what I'm talking about is genuinely saying, wait a minute. These people have been supporting me. I got life insurance because of the people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is on a rapper lifestyle, you know what I mean? If I fall off the stage, I'm going to be good. But here's the thing. When do I give away some free concert tickets and go, I love you, thank you?
okay. Well, we're gonna do that for
Yeah,
you.
we're doing that today.
We're gonna do
You know,
that
the
for you.
Crab
Thank
Shrimp
you.
Throwback Festival, you guys, is
Thank
going
you.
down.
Happening as we speak.
Thank
Yes.
you.
I just want to say, like, on that, yeah, I'm in a different zone right now because, man, like, I'm out there. I used to be the same way. I used to have a ripper box, CDs, tapes, this, and I used to give it all away, whatnot, to the point where I don't even own any of my old shit. You know what I'm saying? But now, I got a 6-year-old, I got a 2-year-old. Things are different.
You got a beautiful hyena.
Yeah.
Your kids are grown. I'm like,
They are.
I got to give it where I can. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man.
I got the hyena.
You got the hyena. By the way, I
You know what
love
I'm saying?
watching your Instagram stories on your timeline with her. The last one was the one that she wasn't wearing her ring or
Oh,
something.
yeah, I'm always getting it.
And he put her on blast. She was like,
Yeah,
what?
dude, what's your ring? It's, yo, you got to excuse, I put it over here, and, you know. And,
Why is it off the hand?
And it's always the ladies that come to her defense. They're like, oh, well, you don't know. We got to take it up. We got to
Maybe she was washing dishes.
Yeah.
Right,
Right.
right.
That's fine, but just don't forget to put them all
That
back on.
part. That part.
He had her on blast on
This right
Instagram.
here, facts has never come off.
And yeah, that see,
And
Guap, baby, the
congratulations
ring
on
stays
that.
on.
I just joke with her.
How many years?
Nah, she's dope.
7 years.
Congratulations.
Man,
on
you
that.
got
Yeah,
past the
I love
5
your
year.
guys'
admire
chemistry
you.
together and your family. Yeah.
This guy.
I admire you.
Look, man, we could chop it up all day.
Yes,
This
we
is
can.
easy.
I admire
But
you.
man, we want to thank y'all for pulling up. But
Yes.
anything y'all want to tap in?
You know what?
touch
I
in
do
on
want to
real
give a
quick?
couple shouts out.
Do that.
Just because we were talking and we got, I didn't get that last question in, but I do want to give a shout out to Johnny J.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Mexican. You know, we grew up together down the street, 104th, 103rd, knew him my whole life. And people don't understand. Like, the funny thing about it is you got Jammin' James
Right.
as a black man,
Right.
and as a black man, I
Speak on
had
it.
Johnny J as a
Johnny
Mexican.
J, cool as hell.
You
You understand?
man,
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and
Yeah.
I just felt like we would be remiss if
Brown
I didn't
and black.
bring that
That's
black and
important, yeah.
brown culture together because we've been doing it, and that's what you hear in the music when you hear bands like War and things like that. You know, I had pretty much 80% of Knocking Boots done, but what's Mexican and what's Latin about that song is that clave in there, that dit-it, dit-it, that's Johnny. Johnny brung that Latino. That one little thing makes a big difference because I can hear my song in a car with all that 808s. Dit-it, dit-it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah.
All day.
You know
and
it.
that changed the whole landscape, and people knew that was their culture,
Yeah.
which
Hell
is why I
yeah.
have so much love in the Latino community.
What was
Absolutely.
the studio on Western that he had right over there, Johnny J? It was
Over in Slauson?
yeah.
Yeah, we we had that place turned out. Everybody came through there, man. Everybody that you see now that's big, from CJ Mack to anybody, Big Psych, everybody came through there. DJ Quick.
You know what's crazy
All
is
of them.
my first couple of years already, I was so new and I was so green, so I know I wasn't that good when I first started. But Johnny J used to always message me and just like listen and be like, "See, keep going, stay tapped in." Like, but I was just always so like, wow, this guy is taking his time to message me, this little Mexican girl at a station in San Bernardino, and just telling me like, keep doing it for
the
the culture,
culture.
keep doing it for the culture. See, keep going. And I'm like, man, that was so dope. So rest in peace, Johnny J. But before you guys leave, I need to enroll in your hip hop course.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's do it. Let's sign you
What's
up.
going on? How can we enroll?
That is in Mesa, Arizona.
Okay.
Mesa Community College. I started it off at Scottsdale.
There's no online for me?
No, that's next. That's next.
Okay.
Bus us in?
That's next. And yeah, I will be Zooming. And get you, matter of fact, I want you all to come in and speak to the
Yes.
students.
That's easy call right
yes,
there, bro.
absolutely. I want you there. Quick has done it already.
All right.
But it's part of the DJ certificate that they had out there, and they just added my course to it for emceeing. And it's not just for emceeing for rappers, but it's also emceeing for DJs, because a lot of DJs are definitely afraid of getting on that microphone.
Right.
So I make them write a rap to get them familiar. You know, biggest fear in the world is what?
Not doing it?
Speaking in public.
Public speaking.
Oh,
All day.
Oh, like for us, it's
You
just
see?
so
You
easy.
see?
So we're like, we don't.
It was
yeah.
fun. Because y'all, that's rare. We don't realize how rare that is.
Right.
So it's also a public speaking course as well as introduction to hip hop and songs. We do old school songs and introduce them to the culture and the history. But I wrote the curriculum and syllabus myself.
That's dope.
Man, congratulations
Thank
on
you very
that.
much.
Yeah,
I
thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much for always holding the culture down still, Candyman.
No worries. Appreciate
Listen,
you.
Mellow Man Ace, ODM, Candyman,
Let's
the
do it.
legends are here.
Man.
So ironic on National Hip Hop Day.
Absolutely.
We appreciate
So,
it.
I just want to really quick give some shouts to my crew, man. Been going on the road with me.
Okay.
Money Moons, DJ Danny Boy. You know, you got to mention your team because
Yes.
that's what makes it work.
Them
Shouts out to
That's
Big
true.
Marv.
And I
Yes.
also want to shout out. I want to shout out Romeo and Cece. Thank you guys so much for what you do.
Absolutely.
Because you guys get it. You know, I did radio for 20-some years.
Yes.
And continue to grow, continue what you do. You guys are so involved with the community. That's what makes you, and it'll never break you. And when you leave, they go with you. And that's what I know. So
Thank
flowers
you,
to
man.
guys.
Yeah,
Wow.
man.
I appreciate this, like
Thank
for
you,
real.
guys.
Like, and it's just so like crazy that we get to sit here and be in front of you and interview because I was a fan first. Like I was a fan. I chased this guy out of the conga room, and I was like, they were like, yeah,
She
I
did, she did.
He was
It was
walking out, I
crazy.
performed. I got there late, and they were like, oh yeah, you just missed Mellow Man Ace. I ran out there. I said, Mr. Ace, Mr. Ace.
Mr. Ace.
I did. I was trying to be so respectful. I was like, I'm a fan. I'm such a fan.
That was awesome,
You know, and
man.
he was so nice. He stopped, talked to me, didn't give me no attitude, nothing. It was a conversation. I'm like, yo, so dope. And then ODM, like in Riverside, we was just bumping Lighter Shade of Brown. We felt proud. We were like, we are Lighter Shade of Brown. We just embodied it. And then with Candyman being on stage, all you hear Attention, ladies. I remember we would run to the stage. We said, he's on, he's on.
Knew what
he's
it
on.
was.
We were fans of the
Thank you.
music. So, like, you guys, thank you so much for being here. I'm so honored
for
to be
having us.
interviewing you guys.
Appreciate it.
Love.
Appreciate it. The
Appreciate it.
Blackout
Thank you guys,
Podcast,
man.
man. Go check that out. Lighter Shade. Everybody, y'all invited. I had to plug that one time.
And
Yes.
don't forget the concert where we will all be at. Give it to them.
Right here, Hacienda Heights, man. Old Crab Cajun Restaurant. Did I mention it's a seafood restaurant? So you come, you grub, you
Yeah.
get all of that, man. It's fire. They got these bomb. You like White Claws? They
Uh,
got these mango White Claw mixed drinks. Me and my wife had, man.
Okay.
Don't come. For
I
me.
like crab and shrimp, though.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
yeah.
no,
Got beer and all that.
it's
Tell
gonna
'em.
be crazy. It's gonna be all you can eat if you're in the VIP, right? VIP only, not everybody
Oh, we
can't
did.
get
Okay,
y'all might get
crab
some
legs.
access. I think y'all got a little.
Yeah,
All right,
no,
cool.
man.
All
Everybody can't get the crab legs, but if you're in the VIP, you get
Yeah.
crab legs, white fish. You're gonna get shrimp. You're gonna get lobster, a 6-pack of beer, and you get to go backstage
Yeah.
and meet this guy and this
Hell,
guy. You
let's
know what I
do it.
mean? Oh yeah, and me too. And so, you know what I mean? It's gonna be lovely, and it's August 28th. Once again, 2020 Hacienda Boulevard in the city of Hacienda Heights, California. The first annual Crab and Shrimp Throwback Fest featuring ODM, Lighter Shade of Brown, Money Moons, and this man DJ Danny and all them. Candy Man, my brother, for so many years, and you're gonna get JJ Fad and just added Mariah Avila and myself.
There it is,
Mellow
baby. Come on.
Measy.
It's KDAY.